Hi, everybody. We're here on Wednesday afternoon. We're going to do a beginner session with a special emphasis on a little bit more stretching than I often do. So we're going to use some equipment today. Don't worry, just to make sure you know, we are also going to do plenty of strengthening as well. So we're going to do lots of core strength, but a little bit of extra stretching. If you have a ball, grab it. If you don't have a ball, but do have a bath towel, go ahead and grab that and roll it up, fold it up as many times as you can. We'll throw in a band as well. If you have a band at home, grab it. If not, don't worry about it. I just go through the motions when I do the band. We're going to start standing up, coming to the end of your mat, checking your feet parallel and hip width apart. Start lifting the abdominals, lifting the kneecaps, lifting the glutes, everything, lifting up those legs, just activating your muscles. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up overhead, and then breathe out, come up onto your toes. Slide the shoulders down, finding your balance. Reach the arms to the side, just really stretching through the fingertips. Drop the hands all the way down, and then drop your chin to your chest, round your spine, and roll yourself all the way down over your legs. Just hang there for a moment. I want you to nod your head yes, and then shake the head no. Bend the knees, scoop the abdominals in, and slowly roll yourself back up to standing. Shoulders and head come up last. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale up onto your toes. So again, finding the balance, shoulders away from the ears, narrow the waist, and then reach your arms out to the side. Lower your heels, drop your chin around the spine, roll all the way down. Good, and then bend the knees and get the hands down to the mat. We're gonna walk your hands forward, breathing out as you come forward. Lift the head, relax the shoulders, and we're gonna lower the knees down to the mat. Inhale, exhale, lift the knees back up. Breathe in to lower, and out to lift. Stay there for 3, and 2, lift. Last one, up and hold, and then lift your hips all the way up, press into your heels, hold your downward dog stretch for a big inhale, and then exhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend the knees, round the spine, and roll yourself all the way back up. Once again, shoulders and head up last. You're going to lift your left arm up. I'm just going to turn so you can see that I'm using just one arm. Lengthen through that left side as you reach that hand up to the ceiling. You don't want it leaning over, going straight up, finding length as the other hand down slides down the side of your leg. Inhale, change the arms. Right arm up, left arm down, just lengthening through that right side. And then inhale, take it all the way down. Now pick up your ball or your towel, whatever you're using, and place it between your knees. Check that your feet are still parallel and hip width apart. We're going to breathe out, bend your knees, drop the hips. Breathe in, come back to standing. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. So that ball between the knees just helps make sure the knees track right over the toes. The knees don't pull together or roll out as you come into your squat. 2 more times, dropping the hips, standing up. Hold the last one down, and then take the weight forward. So lift your heels up and down. Lift and lower for 3 and 2. Last one, I'm going to hold the heel side, drop the hips a little lower, and then lower your heels down, hands to your sides, come back to standing. Inhale. As you exhale, again, chin to chest, round the spine, folding over your legs, hanging down towards the mat, and then we're going to swing left and right, just relaxing your lower back. Good. Come back to the center, bend the knees, hands down. Walk your hands forward, drop the knees with the ball between them, down to the mat. Hands under your shoulders. We're all fours. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, squeeze the ball, lift the knee just an inch or 2 up off the mat, and really carve out those abdominals. Lift the pelvic floor, scooping everything in tight, and then inhale, lower the knees back down to the mat. Exhale, lift the knees up, little squeeze on that ball, scooping and hollowing those deep abdominals. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Squeeze, holds. Last one, breathing into the lower, and then breathe out to lift. Squeeze the ball, scoop the core in tight, and then lift the knees all the way up. Press into your heels, arch your back. Hold for a big breath in, and then walk your hands back to your feet. Bend the knees, round the spine, rolling back up, restacking your spine, one vertebra on top of the other, shoulders and head coming up last. I just want you to reach your arms out to the side, thumbs up to the ceiling. Just do a big arm circle. Leading with those thumbs as you reach behind. And then reverse it, reach the thumbs up. And then lead with the pinkies as you reach back. Lift and back and down. Again, drop the chin, round the spine, rolling down. Still have that ball between the legs. Just hang over the legs for a moment. Soften the knees. Walk your hands forward. You're going to walk all the way forward and lift your toes up. A little bit of a squeeze on that ball. Zip the core in tight. You're going to bend your elbows and then breathe out. Press the mat away. Inhale, lower the chest down. Exhale, lift. Stay there for 4. We still have that ball between the knees. A little bit of a squeeze on the ball, but focus on the upper body here. Last 2. And lift. And 1. Up and hold. I want you to drop down to your elbows and lace your fingers together. Drop your toes down to the mat. Breathe out. Lift the knees up. Squeeze your ball. Scoop the belly button in. Squeeze your glutes. Inhale. Tap the ball back down to the mat. Exhale. Lift. Squeeze. Hold. Inhale. Lower. 2 more. Breathing out. And in. Last one. Lift up and hold there for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees. Sit back down to your heels. Stretch your arms. Rest your head. And breathe. Drag your hands back. Circle your shoulders both directions. And then take the ball away. Changing position now, coming onto your back. We're going to place the ball between your ankles. Keep your feet on the floor. Take a deep breath in, and we're going to just press into your hands to lift your knees up, lift the feet up, button your ribs down towards your hips, draw the belly button in tight, and then curl your head and shoulders up off the mat. Start pumping the arms. Breathing in for 4 beats. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in for 4 beats. And then out for 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. 2 more breaths in for 4. Breathe out for 4. Look down towards the abdominals. Everything's scooping in, hollowing, not bulging up. Up. 2, 3, 4. Now drop the head and shoulders down to the mat. Take your hands a little wider. Really sink the shoulders down. I'm going to drop both knees down with that ball between the ankles. Both knees to the right. Breathe out. Lift the knees back to the midline. Inhale, drop the knees down to the left. Exhale, lift them back up. Inhale, drop the knees to the right. Let's turn the head. This time, the head turning the opposite direction from the knees. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And lift one more time each way, squeezing that ball between the ankles. Inhale to drop. Exhale to lift. Last one. Breathe in. Now take your hands behind your head, elbows wide. Breathe out. Lift the shoulders, stretch the legs, and squeeze the ball tight. Scoop the belly button and lift the pelvic floor. Inhale, drop the shoulders, bend the knees. Exhale, lift the shoulders, stretch the legs, squeeze, scoop, and hold. Inhale down. 2 more, shoulders high, legs long. And then release. Last one, shoulders up, legs long, squeeze, and release. Pass the ball to your hands and hug your knees into your chest. A little bit of movement side to side. All right, pop the ball away. Hold the backs of your knees, lift your head, lift your shoulders up off the mat, and roll yourself all the way up. Slide your legs out in front of you and slide your hands down the legs, wrapping around the backs of the legs to get a stretch through the hamstring. Once again. And then inhale, restack your spine, float the hands up, exhale, roll yourself halfway back. We're gonna hold here. Now breathe out, lift the arms up to the ears, almost behind the ears, and then inhale, lower the arms back down. Exhale, lift. Reaching the arms behind those ears without letting the ankles come even a millimeter up off that mat. So really heavy legs, lift and lower. Last one, lift all the way up. Let's hold there for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hands back down, stretch the fingertips, and roll all the way back down. Reach the arms behind you, inhale, and then exhale. Lift the hands, lift the head, curl your spine. If you get stuck, just pull one knee in and use that leg to help you roll up. Stretch forward. Inhale, articulate back into your straight back. Shoulders and head come up last, and then breathe out, come halfway back. I'm going to turn, looking over the left shoulder, stretch the arms a little longer, stretch with those fingertips. Inhale, back to the center. Turn to the right, again, stretch. Inhale, center, scooping and hollowing those abdominals, squeezing the legs together. Stretch and center. Breathe out. And in one more time each way. Twist, stretch. Center, all the way back down to the mat. Wrap your hands around your knees, hug your knees into your chest, and rock side to side. Good. Now just need to adjust myself. So I'm back in the middle of the mat. Sometimes the roll-ups can just take you to the end. Lift the knees back up to tabletop, feet together, knees together. Now you almost push the sides of the waist together, drawing the belly button in, big pelvic floor lift. Now slide your fingertips under your lower back. Make sure you're not imprinting that lower back into the mat, nor overarching your back. You just have a small little gap there. Front rib pointing towards your hips, belly button pulled in, pelvic floor lifting up. Now we're going to lower your right toe down to the mat, hold it there. Take a deep breath in, lower the left toe down to the mat and hold. Take a little inhale, exhale, lift the right knee. Keep your hands resting across your abdominals, elbows out to your sides, lift your left knee. Right foot comes, left foot comes down and hold. Float the right knee up and then float the left knee up. One more time, right foot down. So both the heel and the toe are touching the mat, but no weight into the toe. Left toe comes down, lift the right knee, lift the left knee. Now hold there, zip the core a little tighter, sink the ribs a little deeper, lift the pelvic floor a little higher, and then lead with your left foot. Left foot comes down first, right foot follows, slow movements, left knee up, and then the right knee comes up. One more time there, left foot down, follow with the right, lift the left knee, lift the right knee. Now I want you to stretch your right leg long. Keep your left knee over the hip. Inhale, pull that right knee into the chest. Exhale, send your left leg long. No movement through the pelvis. No lifting through the abdominals as that right leg stretches out again. Inhale, come back to that starting point. Exhale, extend the left leg. Inhale, lower. One more time each way. Still with those hands resting across the abdominals, making sure everything's pulling down, drawing in rather than bulging up as you stretch opposite legs out and back. Come back to the starting point. Take your hands behind your head. Now I'm going to breathe out, peel the head and shoulders up off the mat, look towards the thighs, draw the abdominals in, and turn as you stretch one leg long. Reach the elbow to the opposite knee, center, turn the other way, and center, and twist, center. Really lift that shoulder high up off the mat, elbow reaching up to the ceiling. Go 4 more, breathing out, reaching to the opposite knee. Think shoulder to knee, elbows to ceiling. Last 2 and 1. Take the shoulders down and draw your knees into your chest. Circle your knees around. Good. Now lift the toes up to the ceiling. Again, stretching the backs of the hamstring. Work your feet around in circles, just circling both ways, just circling those ankles. Point your toes, lift your head, lift your shoulders. I'm going to hold the right leg as the left leg drops down. Pull, pull, switch the legs. Keep your neck relaxed, core strong, ribs sliding down towards your hips, the belly button and the lower back presses into the mat with this one. Stay here for 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. Then drop the shoulders, draw the knees in, and then just hug your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg out. Lift your head, lift your shoulders. Press that knee up into the hands and pull the hands down into the knee. Switch the legs. Again, getting the opposing forces between the knees and the hand, alternating sides. Staying there for 8 and 7, 6. Option to have the head down on the mat. 3, 2, and 1. Now pull both knees in. Take a breath, and we're going to roll all the way up to sitting. You need to find your band and wrap it around your feet. We're going to hold the band fairly short, close to the feet, but I want you to cross it in front of those feet, kind of between your hands and your feet. Got a little X now, sitting up as tall as you can. Think about your tailbone pointing right down to the floor, sit bones on the floor, core tight, ribs stacked right on top of the pelvis, and then breathe out. Pull your elbows back, reach the top of the head, inhale, take it forward. Now, if you don't have a band, just go through these motions, pull, really focus on lengthening the spine, narrowing the waist, getting that mobility, feeling that squeeze in the upper back. Stay there for 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. Now you lean back, open the band, and slide your knees in through that band. Feet together, knees together. Then breathe out, press your feet out, breathe in, pull the knees back. So you're using that band for a little bit of support as we go out and back. Now, if you don't have a band, you can use your hands. Just make it a little smaller, or if you have the strength, you can go deeper without the hands behind the knees. Whichever level you're doing, aim for 4 and 3, Last 2 and 1. Now you pull those knees in, reach your arms out to the side, and so you can float your legs up, stretching into the backs of the legs, and then slowly lower the feet down to the mat. Folding forward over the legs, pull your toes in, flex feet, and then extend your arms, squeeze the triceps, extend and bend. So again, if there's no band, just keep going through these motions, elbows above and behind the ribs, just extending those arms, feeling that stretch through the hamstrings as we work into the arms for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back up to sitting. Think string out of the top of the head, tailbone and sit bones kind of propped in that pelvis. We're going to circle your arms up, back, and around. So 4 big circles. Do that for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse it for the other way. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I just want you to inch yourself a little bit further along your mat so your feet are right at the end of the mat. You're going to roll your upper body down and float your legs up. Reach the hands behind you. Let your band slide through your hands. You got the full length of your band, and breathe out. Lower the feet down towards the mat. Just hold where you start to lose that control. Inhale, lift them back up. Exhale, lower the legs. Inhale to lift. Aim for 3. And lift. Last 2. And lift. 1 more. Down and up. And now we're going to wrap that band a little tighter around your hands, and so you can roll yourself up and find a balance. Feel free to bend the knees if you need to, or extend if you can. Drop the feet down and just get one more big stretch forward. Drop your chin to your chest, then turn your right ear to your right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. Good. Now I'm going to drop the band and grab your ball. Place the ball between your knees. Again, remember, you can use a towel. You can even use a tennis ball or a really small ball. Anything just that you can kind of squeeze between those knees usually will work. You're going to breathe out, press your lower back down, scoop the abdominals in, take your hands behind your head, and curl the shoulders up as you squeeze that ball tight. Lift your pelvic floor. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, curl the shoulders up, press the lower back down, scoop the belly button in, squeeze the ball, lift. Inhale, lower back down. 2 more like that. Breathing out, scooping and hollowing. Inhale, release. Last one, head and shoulders come up, and then reach your arms along your sides. So lift a little further and tap your hand to your ankle, alternating sides. Just reaching left hand to ankle, right hand to ankle. So there's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the hands back behind the head and drop the head and shoulders down to the mat. Now you're going to come up onto your tiptoes. Lift your heels up. Walk your toes in a little closer to your body. Lift your hands up to the ceiling, but sink your shoulder blades down into the mat. Press your lower back down and start peeling your spine slowly up off that mat. Just articulating every joint. Squeeze your ball tight. Button your ribs towards your hips. Curl your sit bones up towards your pubic bone. And then drop the hips down. And exhale, squeeze the balls. You lift back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Stay there for 6 and 5. Last 4, 3, 2. Big squeeze. Squeeze the glutes near the waist. Hold this last one up. Now lift the right hip, pivot the pelvis. Lift the left hip. Lift the right and left. Stay there for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now square the hips. Breathe in, reach the arms all the way behind you. Backs and hands touch the floor. Breathe out, round the spine. Rib cage down first, middle back second. 1 vertebra at a time through that lower back. And then the hip bones and tailbone come down. Drop your heels and take your hands down to your sides. Now you need to take the ball away. Pop it to the side and lift your toes up. So we're balancing on our heels. So really try to get those toes high up off the mat. Press your lower back down, scoop the abdominals in, lift the pelvic floor, curl the spine up off the mat, tailbone, hip bones, lower back, middle back, all the way right up to those shoulders. And then walk your hands a little closer to your feet, button your ribs a little closer towards your hips, and lift your right knee up. Try to hold that left heel, hold those left toes up. Now breathe in, lower the hips down, exhale, lift. Breathe in, lower the hip, and lift. Stay there for 8, 7. If you need to modify this, you can drop that right foot down. Just do another set of the hip lifts. If you want that extra challenge, turn it into that single leg. Stay there for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Now lower that right heel down to the mat. Lift both hips a little higher. Lift your left knee up. We're going to do 10 on this side. Breathe in as you lower, breathe out as you lift. Squeeze at the top. Full range of motion. Feel the mat. Just touch those hips. And then lift as high as you can. Stay there for 6, 5, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now drop the hips all the way down. Pull your knees into your chest. Hold the backs of the calves and lift those toes up to the ceiling, just stretching the backs of the legs. Try to curl your tailbone out to the wall in front of you, finding a little bit of space under your lower back. Just holding those toes straight up to the ceiling. Now bend your knees and get the toes down onto the mat. Feet are together, knees are together, so those toes are touching. Walk the heels in close to your hips. Press your lower back down. Squeeze the inner thighs as you curl the spine all the way up. So now we've got that connection between the knees. Inhale, drop the hips down. Exhale, squeeze to lift. Inhale, lower. Everything squeezes in tight. Narrow the waist. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2. Hold it up. Little squeeze at the top. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the hips. Flip your feet so your heels are down. Your toes are up still. Knees zip together. Inner thighs connected. Lift and lower. Imagine you're holding a piece of paper tight between your knees. Stay there for 6 and 5, 4, 3. Really lift hips as high as you can. 2 and 1. Now drop the hips down. Pull your knees into your chest. Open the knees out towards your armpits. Wrap the hands around the arches of your feet. Just pulling those knees in and then extend your right leg out for that inner thigh stretch and then the hamstring. Bend the right knee, extend your left leg out. Feel that stretch through the hips. And then both legs out. Stretch and bend. Hands at the backs of the knees to your chest and roll yourself up. Change position so you're on all 4s. Good. Slide the shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to lift that right foot up to the ceiling. Flex the foot. Draw your ribs up into the body. Look down your body. Make sure the knee is in line with your hip. And pulse up. 8 lifts. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Point the toe, turn the knee out, circle the knee. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend the leg out to the edge of your mat. Lift the leg long for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that foot down. Slide your left hand to the left corner of the mat. And lift both the arm and leg for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hand and foot back down to the mat. Take the hand and foot back in line with your shoulder and hip back to that midline. Lift them up, reaching to the wall in front of you, the toe reaching to the wall behind, and breathe out, round your spine. Pull your elbow and knee towards the forehead. Inhale, straighten the arm and leg out, balancing on that right hand and left knee. Tuck and reach. Stay there for 3 and reach. Last 2. Lift. 1 more. Tuck, rounded spine, and then straighten up the back, and then drop the knee and the foot. Sit back onto your heels. Stretch your arms for a moment. Just rest your head. And then go for the other side. Shoulders down the back. Press the mat away. Lift your left knee. Flex the foot. Draw your ribs up into the body. Shoulders down the back. Pulse it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Point the toe, turn the knee out, circle the knee. 4, up and around. 3, feel the oblique working that left side of the waist. Last 2, and 1. Reverse your circles, 4 the other way. 3, 2, really press the mat away. Last 1, extend that leg out to the corner of the mat, just off the left corner of the mat. Breathe out, lift the leg up for 4, and 3, 2, 1. Now slide your right hand to the right corner of the mat. Lift the right arm and the left leg for 4, and 3. Last 2, both arm and leg opposite side, lifting to the corners of the room. Hold the last one up. And then lower that hand and foot back down. Slide them back in line with the shoulder and the hip, back to that midline. Lifting up there and then breathing out. Round the spine. Pull your knee to the forehead. Drop your chin to your chest. Inhale, stretch the arms, stretch the leg. Breathing out, rounding the spine, scooping the abdominals. Inhale, straight back to a neutral spine. 3 more, rounded spine with your exhale. Neutral spine with your inhale. Elbow and knee pull in with your exhale. Arm and leg stretch long with your inhale. Last one. Breathing out. And in. And then the hand and the knee come back down to the mat. Now take your left hand and thread it through your body. Keep reaching all the way through. Keep your hips above your knee. Back of that left arm on the floor. Lift the right arm up to the ceiling. Breathe in. Try to expand into the sides of your ribs as you inhale. And then as you exhale, drop the right hand down. Take your left hand back through the body. Fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Imagine somebody's pulling that hand to the wall behind you. We're going to do the same arm again, same side. Slide that left arm through the body. Keep reaching it across. Imagine somebody's pulling that hand. Lift the right arm up. Now, big inhale. Expand your ribs. And then as you exhale, drop the right hand. Take the left hand all the way up to the ceiling to reverse the twist of the spine. And then back to all fours. We're going to do 2 times on the right arm threads through the body. Keep reaching all the way through, hips above the knees, press into the back of that arm. Left arm to the ceiling. Big inhale, expand the ribs. Find 2 inches to expand into those sides of the ribs, into the ribs, and then let the left hand come down. Right hand comes back through, fingertips up to the ceiling, opening that chest. And same side again, right arm threads through, keep sliding it all the way across, head and shoulders are down, left arm up, inhale, expand the ribs. And then exhale, drop your left hand, right hand comes back through the body, fingertips up to the ceiling, opening that chest, and then come back to all fours. Good. All right, when you come to sitting, feel free to grab a quick sip of water as we change positions. I'm going to use the band with the next one. If you don't have a band but do have some light weights, feel free to grab your light weights. Sit on the middle of your band and try to sit as tall as you can. Now, if you need to sit higher onto a cushion to get your back straight, go ahead and grab a cushion, that's fine. Or you can also sit with your legs out or heels together, knees out, however you best feel. You can maintain a perfectly straight back with your rib cage right on top of those hips. A little bit of a curve in your lower back. So extend your arms out in front of you, slide the shoulders down away from the ears, and then breathe out, lift the arms up overhead, and then breathe in, lower them back down. Now feel free to adjust your band. Just make sure you have equal resistance on both sides. So if you're holding that band a little shorter, they better be equal. We don't want one arm working harder than the other. Stay there for 6. So arms going right up to those ears, then down in front of you, a little bit of space between your wrists. Stay there for 5, 4, last 3, 2. With the last one, we're gonna hold the arms up and then drop the elbows out into a W shape. Shoulders down away from the ears, lift through the top of the head. Exhale, lift the arms over your head. Inhale down, exhale, lift. Stay there for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Holding the next one up, we're going to slowly reach those arms all the way out to the side, down to the floor. Roll your shoulders back, roll them forward, sit a little taller, reach the arms out to the side, narrow the waist, lift your pelvic floor, and then circle back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Reverse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, I want you to hold your band short. So shorten that band, elbows into the sides of the rib cage. We're going to open the arms out and then pull the pinkies back together. Elbows stay zipped to those ribs, thumbs back, and then pinkies together. Thumbs to the wall behind you and back. So just opening up the collarbone, opening up the chest, pulling the shoulder blades together behind your back, getting that mobility through the shoulders. Take the elbows slightly to the front of your rib cage. Last one, out, and then come halfway back, and then reach your arms out to the sides. Inhale, elbows back to the ribs. Exhale, reach, and then sit a little taller, narrow the waist, think pelvic floor. 2 more, lift, And lower, last one, up and hold, little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now drop the band, take your right hand to your left knee and reach your left hand behind you. Now twist the spine. Inhale, sit as tall as you can. Exhale, twist a little further. Now inhale, lengthen to come back to the front. Take your left hand to the right knee, right arm reaches behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist a little further. Good. Let's just take the band away. And we're going to come down onto your side with your arm and your legs long. Roll your top shoulder back, wrap your hand around the waist, find a little gap on the lower part of the waist, that narrowest part of the waist, and then lift both feet up off the mat. Tilt your pelvis slightly, so your tailbone is lengthening towards your heels, but your ribs towards your hips, pelvic floor lifting up and away, and I'm going to lift the top leg up and down. Stay there for 5 and 4. You can use this hand to help you stabilize, or if you want to advance, lift your hand to the ceiling. 3, last 2, and 1. Now hold that leg just hovering in line with the hip, little circle. 6, 5, 4. Either lifting that lower leg up off the mat, or if you want to modify, just bend that lower knee. Last 2 and 1. Reverse your circle. 6 the other way. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now flex the feet and bicycle that top leg. 4 circles. Forward, think forward, back and around. Kick it forward, back and around. Last 2. Again, feel free to bend or lower that lower leg to give you a little more. Last one. Now backward pedal for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just stretch both legs out with the lower leg. Tap the foot, tap the floor. So the lower leg zips up to that top leg. Bring the inner thigh of the lower leg. Start hollowing the abdominals a little bit more. Don't let the abdominals go as you think about those legs. Last 3, 2, and hold the last one. Point the toes. Really squeeze the inner thighs together. And then scissor both legs. Legs reaching out to the edges of the mat. 8, 7. No movement through the pelvis. No movement through the ribs. Stay there for 4, 3, 1. Legs come back together. Now we lift your head. Lift the legs. Inhale, lower. Let's take this hand up to the ceiling. Breathe out. Drop that hand down to the side of the legs. Lift the head, lift the feet. Now, if you feel like you need that hand to help you stabilize, go ahead and put that hand in front. But lift the head and the feet up to a little smile. So head up, feet up, and then back down. 2 more. Lift. And then use that hand on that lower arm to help to stabilize. Last 1. And lower. Now I'm going to take both hands behind your head. Drop your knee forward and then just reach that elbow out to the wall behind you. Open your arms out wide and then circle the back arm all the way around. Keeping that front knee anchored to the floor. Circle the other way. Just kick the water bottle out of the way. And then we're going to pull the knees back together and change to the other side. Start with that arm, just stretching through the end of the mat, shoulders together, reach from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. Zip the abdominals in and wrap the hand around the lower part of the waist. Lift both feet up. Just find that length from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. Take this hand to help stabilize and lift the top leg up and down. Stay there for 8 and 7. Option to lower that bottom leg. Just slightly bending the knee to give you a little more stability if you need it, or if you feel any grinding through that hip bone. Feel free to drop that leg down. Last 2 and 1. Drop the foot in line with the hip, either with that leg extended or with the bottom knee bent. Small circle. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And again, just a little more length through the body. Reverse your circle. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Now zip the lower leg up to the top leg, back to the mat. Lift and lower. Just really get the inner thighs working. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2. Squeeze and hold this one. Now scissor the legs, the edges of the mat. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs come back together. Now we're going to lift the head, lift the feet. Drop the head, drop the feet. Option to float that hand up and take the hand down to the side of the leg. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Take it back. Remember, the one that I missed on this side are bicycle pedals. We need to pedal 4 times forward. 3, foot in line with hip 2, and 1, and then pedal it backwards for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Now drop the feet down, slide your top knee forward, anchor that knee to the mat. Take hands behind the head and open the elbows out wide. Look to the arm behind you, look at elbow behind you, and stretch your arms out. We're gonna circle the back arm over your head, past the front arm, past the legs, all the way around again until the hands come back together in front of you, and then reverse your circles. Another one big circle. And again, all the way around until those hands come back together. Good. Now we're just going to change position, rolling over onto your front. I want you to grab your ball. Place the ball at the end of your mat. Have your feet hip width apart. Point those toes. You're going to press into the ball. Lift the chest up. Inhale, lower the ball back down. Exhale, lift. Lower. So just pressing now. If you don't have a ball, you can just slide your hands in. If you do have a towel, you can use a towel, just sliding the towel in, sliding it out. Stay there for 2, lift, and lower. Last 1, lift, and lower. Now just pop the ball to the side. I want you to relax your upper body. Just rest your chin on your hands. Turn your knees out to the edges of your mat and zip your heels together like frog legs. Flex your feet, soles of the feet up to the ceiling. Relax the upper body and lift your knees up off the mat and lower. Lift and lower. Really squeeze those heels. Now your knees don't need to come up very high for you to activate those muscles. But if you can, lift them high. But if you can't, just make sure you're really squeezing those muscles. Stay there for 6. So it's the muscles at the top of your glute, where your glute meets your lower back. Keep the belly button pulled in so we don't collapse your lower back or arch into the lower back. Stay there for 3, 2, hold the next one up. Now we want you to kick those toes out. Keep the knees up off the mat. Bend the knees, heels come back together. 4 more times. Kick the toes to the corners of the mat. Bend the knees, flex the feet, heels together. Last 3, kicking out. Knees are up off the mat. Core is tight. 2. Last one, and kick those legs out, and then let them sink down to the mat. Now keep the feet down. I want you to lift your head, lift your chest. So you're still resting your chin on your hands. We're just lifting and lowering. Last 3, and 2, and 1. Now extend the arms out, just a little bit of a rock side to side with those hips. Lift the right arm and left leg, and then the left arm and right leg. Opposite arm and leg, lift and lower, up and down. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Take your hands under your shoulders, sit back onto your heels, knees wide, toes together, stretch out your lower back. Take both hands to the right edge of the mat and stretch those fingers to the right corner of the room as you sit back into your left heel. And then both hands to the left edge of the mat, sit back into your right heel, stretching through those fingertips to the left corner of the room. Take the hands back to the center and roll yourself over to sitting. Now I want you to grab your ball and we're going to place the ball in the middle of your upper back. So right between those shoulder blades. Take your hands behind your head, stretch your legs out long. And we're just going to lower our head and our elbows over that ball. So you're using the ball to help you open out your chest a little bit. So try to reach those elbows out to the sides. Now, if you don't have a ball, you can use a towel for this as well. It's kind of a bunched up towel. We're just trying to lift the middle of your chest and sink your shoulders down. Now, open your arms out into a wide, like a letter T. Imagine you're holding a bowling ball in each hand and actually curl those fingers around that visible bowling ball. So the fingertips are pointing up to the ceiling, and then just slide your hands over your head until those hands come back together like a letter I. It's a long I. Slide the arms out to the sides back to your letter T, and then down, hands by your side. So it's like you're making a big snow angel with those arms sinking into that ball. Good. Next time the arms come over your head, I'm going to pull the elbows into a W shape. So pulling the elbows towards the ribs and slide them back up to the wall behind you. Drop your chin slightly into your chest. Slide the elbows down to your ribs. Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable, you can maybe, for you, it's better without the ball there. For me, I need that ball to get that stretch, to really open up my chest. But some people who really suffer from a hunched back may just find that lying on their back, dragging their backs of their hands along the floor is enough of a stretch as it is. For the next one, I'm going to take your hands back behind your head, lift your head, pull your elbows together, scoop your core in tight, and see if you lift yourself up off of that ball. Slide your hands down your legs and find your band. Now pick up your band and wrap your band around your right foot. Slide your left heel forward, right heel back. Pivot your pelvis so your left hip is forward, your right hip is back, and then pull that band so that the toes pull in towards your body, really flexing the foot. The band should be around the balls of the feet, trying to pull the top of that foot in as you lean forward. So you feel a sciatic nerve stretch through the back of your right leg. So pull that right heel back, maybe even grabbing the ankle to pull that leg back a little further. And then switch the leg. Slide your right heel forward, left heel back. Take that band around the top of your left foot, so around the balls of that feet. Push the right hip forward, left hip back, and then lean forward here. Getting that back of that left knee down, pulling those toes in, stretching the back as you fold over those legs. And let's go one more time each way. So slide the right heel back, left heel forward, band around the top of that right foot, pulling those toes in as you press the left heel forward and drive your right hip back. Good, and then switch it. Right heel forward, left heel back, wrapped around the top of that left foot, pulling that left foot in, left hip back as you lean forward over the legs. Now just square your feet, give them a little bit of a jiggle. Just bend the knees and then cross your left foot over the right leg. Right hand wraps around the knee. Breathe in, sit up as tall as you can. Twist a little further. And then change the legs. Right foot over the left knee. Wrap around. Inhale, sit tall. Good. So now pop your ball out of the way. We're going to come up into a high plank, but we're not going to stay there for too long. We're going to turn it into a stretch. So shoulders over your hands, tuck your toes under, lift your knees up, hold your plank, zip the core in tight, and then take your right foot and drop it under your body. So the top of that foot is in the middle of your mat. Your right knee is at the edge of your mat, and slide your left leg back. Look up to the ceiling. Really open the collarbone, sink into those hips. And then drop down to your elbows, down to your chest, and turn onto one cheek. So really just melting down into the floor. Imagine somebody's dragging you back by that left leg, so lengthen that left leg to the wall behind you. And then add a little bit of a rock side to side. And press the mat away, uncross your right leg. We're going to come up into our high plank again. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, hold, lift the head, and then drop that left foot under the body. The top of the foot is in the middle of the mat, the left knee at the edge of the mat. Slide the right leg back, look up to the ceiling, open the collarbone, open the shoulders, and then sink down over that leg, open that chest out, open the elbows out, and then turn onto the opposite cheek. Make sure you're looking in the opposite direction, so just stretching that neck the opposite way. Slide that right leg back. Good, and then just ease yourself out of that stretch, walking your hands back. We're going to flip over onto your back, grab your band. Now we just fold your band in two, so we've got double strength, wrap it around the right foot, pull that right leg in, just ease the knee out as the foot comes in, circle the leg a couple of times, reverse your circles, drop it out to the side, cross it over the body, kick the heel away, keep the right hip down, pull the band, big exhale to hold. Back to the center and switch legs. Left foot into the band, right leg out long. Sink the shoulders down. Ease the knee away as you pull the foot in. Small circles. 3, 2, and 1. Reverse. 3, 2, 1. Leg out to the side for the inner thigh stretch. Opening that leg out and cross it across. Outer thigh stretch. Kick the heel away. Pull the band. Keep that left hip anchored to the mat. Big breath in and breathe out. Let it go. Take the leg back to the center. Bend the knee. Drop your band. Roll all the way over. Drop your chin to your chest. Round the spine. Scoop the abdominals in. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees up. Press into your heels. And we're just going to paddle through the feet. Right heel down, left heel up. Switch it, left heel down, right heel up. 4 more, 4, 3, try to swing a little bit into the hips as well. 2, and 1, and then both heels down. Walk your hands back to your feet. Wrap around the backs of the legs. Nod the head, yes. Shake the head, no. And then bend the knees, scoop the abdominals, and roll yourself all the way back up to standing. Shoulders and head up last. Float the arms up. Zip your heels together, inner thighs together. Squeeze the glutes. Float into your balance. Narrow the waist. And then slowly drop the arms down to the side as you drop the heels. Swing the arms, bend the knees. And give yourself a round of applause. Well done. Thank you. Again, we're back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We've got one more tomorrow afternoon. And then weekend session. Anyway, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Keep checking back in with us, and we'll see you soon.